Okay, let's get started. Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. Our mission today, it's all about mastering really natural sounding English. We're giving you, well, kind of the ultimate shortcut by finishing up a language challenge we started. Today, we're focusing completely on the second half of the day, the evening and bedtime routines.
Exactly. And this material, it's really set up for what's called shadowing practice.
Hmm.
If you're not familiar, shadowing is where you listen and then immediately repeat. You mimic the rhythm, the intonation. These 20 sentences we're covering today, they're core, high-frequency, authentic speech patterns. They unlock that natural English sound. So yeah, we'll drill into those 20 sentences, and then we've got 5 essential vocabulary secrets that will instantly upgrade how you sound.
That context is really important. It's practice for speed, for rhythm. So let's jump right into section 1, the evening flow. We're looking at the sequence of actions, from finishing work right up until you really start winding down. Our sources give us 10 sentences here, crucial for daily conversation.
Right. The whole thing kicks off with that transition from work. The first sentence seems simple, but it's linguistically quite interesting. I finish work and say goodbye to everyone. Notice everyone. It's a collective noun. You don't list names. Just that one word handles the whole social end-of-day thing.
Makes sense. And then boom, the daily grind rhythm kicks in. I take the same bus back home.
For sure.
Simple present tense, right? Throughout these sentences. It emphasizes it's a routine and not just a one-off story. But why the same bus? Why not just I take the bus?
Ah, good question. That tiny detail, the same, it transforms it. It's not just a bus ride. It's your habitual, predictable ride. It signals routine. This is my life. This is predictable. It really backs up that simple present tense, and it shows how native speakers talk about the repetitive parts of daily life.
That's really insightful. It's the difference between reading from a script and sharing your actual reality. And that reality often involves picking up groceries, doesn't it?
Almost always, yeah. The sources have a great transition phrase here. I stop at the grocery store on my way. That phrase, on my way, learners should grab that immediately. It's so efficient. It links the bus trip and the store visit perfectly, seamlessly.
And they get specific, too, grounding the vocabulary. I buy milk, bread, and fresh vegetables. Practical stuff.
Totally. And once you're home, the setting shifts. We get this very relatable sentence, I cook dinner in my small kitchen.
Yeah.
It might seem minor, but for many learners, maybe living in cities, small kitchen is just reality. And practicing the right preposition in the kitchen is key. Some languages handle that differently.
Right. Okay, now here's one that really sums up modern life. I eat dinner while watching my favorite TV show.
Yeah?
Feels like a big one, grammatically, for sounding more fluent.
Oh, absolutely. Let's break it down. The main action is I eat dinner.
Yeah.
The second action happening at the same time is watching my favorite TV show. It's introduced with while and uses the continuous form, watching. You don't need 2 full sentences. While watching does the job perfectly, shows simultaneity. Master that structure, and your English instantly sounds more complex, more natural.
Okay, makes sense. So after dinner, the focus shifts. Connectivity, maybe some light activity. I call my parents to ask about their day. Pretty universal. Then the transition to physical wind down. I do some light exercise in my living room.
Let's pause there for a sec. Why light exercise and in my living room? Why not just I exercise? The specifics matter. They give you 2 extra tools. Light shows the intensity. In my living room gives the location. It's high utility because it's a complete picture. No need for follow-up questions. It's like the difference between vague and real.
Yeah, paints a picture immediately. True. Okay, after the exercise, the mental rest starts. I read a few pages of an interesting book.
And the final task, before really settling down, it ties the evening back to the next morning. I prepare everything for tomorrow morning. That one sentence covers so much, doesn't it? Laying out clothes, packing lunch, setting the coffee timer maybe. It bundles all that prep vocabulary.
Excellent. That's the 10 evening flow sentences covered. Let's transition smoothly now into the final sequence, section 2. The last 10 peaceful sentences of the bedtime routine. This is all about getting ready, physically feeling secure, and finding calm.
Right. Starts with hygiene, comfort. I take a warm shower before going to bed. Adding warm isn't just descriptive. It signals relaxation, a transition, not just getting clean. Then, right after the classic wind-down signal, I put on my comfortable pajamas.
And we see repetition again. I brush my teeth one more time, reinforces the habit. Followed by that practical need for structure. I set my alarm clock for 7:0. Using a specific time like 7:0 is great practice, right? It forces you to nail saying times precisely.
Exactly. And then the focus shifts quickly to securing the place. This uses 2 really critical functional verbs we need. First, I turn off all the lights in the apartment. And immediately after, safety check. I check that the front door is locked.
Ah, good point. That sets up our vocabulary secrets later, linking to those phrasal verbs and action verbs. So, after security, we get to the actual moment of rest. I get into bed and pull up the blankets. That phrase, pull up the blankets, it sounds so natural. Why that one specifically? Why not say cover up or tuck in?
Good question. It's about precision versus generality. Pull up the blankets is the specific physical thing you do to get comfy right before sleep. Tuck in often implies doing it for someone else, like a kid. Cover up is broader, maybe even about hiding something. Pull up is just that simple action. Grab the bedding, move it up. It's the most common default phrase.
That makes perfect sense. Context is key.
Cool.
Okay, the last three sentences focus on the mental state for sleep. First, reflection. I think about the good things that happened today.
Nice positive habit. Then the actual attempt to sleep. I close my eyes and try to fall asleep. And the final hope. I sleep peacefully until morning comes again. So those 20 sentences, if you really master them through shadowing, give you a solid foundation for that whole second half of the day.
But as you said, the real gold for fluency isn't just reciting sentences, it's spotting those subtle word choices, the ones that separate a good learner from someone who sounds, well, native. Which brings us perfectly to section 3, the 5 vocabulary secrets for native fluency. We saved good time for this because, honestly, this is where the immediate value really lies for listeners.
Yes, this is where we stop just learning sentences and start, dissecting the language for efficiency. Let's kick off with secret number 1. It's about time and precision.
Okay, the sources say instead of just at 8:30, which is fine, you sound more polished, more native if you add sharp, so 8.3 sharp. But is sharp okay everywhere? What if I'm in a really formal meeting? Is it too casual?
That's a fair question. Sharp is perfect for social stuff, standard business settings, anywhere you need to stress punctuality. Be here at 9.00 sharp. Very common. Now, if you're writing a legal contract, maybe you avoid it. But honestly, 99% of the time in conversation, sharp boosts your precision. It effectively replaces the slightly clunky exactly at.
Okay, good clarification. Secret number 2 tackles basic object interaction, replacing the common verb take with something else.
Right. We're encouraged to use grab. So I grab my keys instead of I take my keys. Grab implies it's quick, casual, no real thought or formality needed. You wake up, you grab a coffee, leaving the house, you grab your bag. It's about speed, efficiency, matches the pace of daily routines.
But why is take considered clinky then? If I say I take my keys, people still understand, right?
Oh, totally understood. No confusion there, but take can sometimes imply more deliberate action, maybe removing something carefully. I take my wallet out of my pocket. It's correct, but for those quick routine actions, keys, bag, phone grab is just the high-frequency default.
Yeah.
Using grab consistently for these things, that's a real marker of fluency.
Got it. Moving to secret number 3. This one's about attention, especially with our phones. Instead of, I look at my phone, what's the preferred native phrase?
It's check. I check my phone. This might be one of the most crucial substitutions, honestly. We interact with our phones so much. Defaulting to check for that quick glance, seeing notifications, the time it's essential. Look at implies more focus, sustained attention. Check is that quick verification. And most phone interactions are quick checks. So, yeah, check is the dominant verb here.
Makes total sense. And secret number 4 zeroes in on electronics, machinery, reminding us to really master a specific pair of phrasal verbs.
Absolutely critical. The secret is prioritizing turn on and turn off. We saw it earlier. I turn off all the lights. These two simple phrasal verbs often replace single but maybe less common words like activate or deactivate or even switch on off in casual chat. Mastering turn on and turn off is just non-negotiable for everyday English. Think about it.
Yeah.
You turn on the TV, turn off the radio, turn on the heat. Massively high frequency.
Definitely. Okay, and finally, secret number 5, a refinement about physical actions, something we actually touched on in the bedtime routine.
Exactly. This clarifies the difference between the general idea and the specific action. The preference is get into bed, not go to bed, when you mean the literal act of climbing under the covers. Go to bed is the general plan. It's late, I need to go to bed. Get into bed is that final physical step. Okay, lights off, now get into bed. You just get into bed for that specific movement every time.
Wow. Okay, this deep dive has packed in a ton of value. So, listeners, you've now systematically worked through 20 new, really useful sentences for your evening and bedtime, plus those 5 immediate vocabulary secrets. If you did part 1, you now have a 50-sentence script for a whole day's shadowing practice.
Which brings up the important question, what next? application. The suggested homework for this shadowing challenge is pretty straightforward, but needs consistency. Practice part 1 and part 2 out loud every day this week. The aim. By day 7, these sentences should just flow naturally without thinking with the right rhythm.
Yeah, and for immediate practice, try writing about your own evening routine in the comments, maybe. Use today's phrases and secrets. Putting it into practice right away really helps make it stick, way better than flashcards.
Couldn't agree more. Consistent practice is truly the only way to mastery.
So what's the big takeaway for your fluency journey here? We've seen how subtle words like grab and check can be pivots, small changes, huge difference in sounding natural. We've established that just changing one common verb can be a big step towards sounding more conversational. So here's something to think about. If these 5 verbs have such powerful natural alternatives, what other simple common verbs might be hiding similar natural substitutions? Substitutions that could unlock your next level of English fluency? And what daily habits are you still describing using maybe the slightly clunkier option, something to mull over as you, well, get into bed tonight?